Hear from the Dr. Majid AlShehry for today's presentation.
So, good afternoon, my colleagues, friends from South Korea. It's my pleasure to be with all of you today to present a great topic for all of us, which is the AI governance, and share and exchange information about what's happening from a different part from this world that share with you the same interest on AI governance. And specifically today, we'll talk about AI governance in general, but we will be a deep dive into the AI governance for smart cities and how we can definitely have a common future together. So as an introduction, I have known some of my colleagues here, Dr. John Young and Dr. Quinn on various opportunities. And it was really a pleasure to connect with you today to continue that discussion on something very important, which is where the Saudi vision is today. But prior to that, let me share with you how it started as a vision, and then how the AI came into this vision, and then how the ICAIRE was established as part of the initiatives of Saudi vision. So in Saudi Arabia, the country has went through a major transformation. It was a complete transformation for the whole government, from economical side, from exchange of knowledge, from education, from all the aspects that matters to us, including smart cities. We have been working on many initiatives. We have hosted a global AI summit event 3 times in the last 6 years. And on that, we had hosted many guests from Korea, from Asia, and from the rest of the world, talking about the future of AI. And definitely AI governance, AI ethics was always part of the equation. GAIN, or the Global AI Summit, had 3 themes: where AI today, which is now; where AI will be in the future, which is next; and then, which is most important part, where AI should stop from, and that's the never part. That's why GAIN has 3 N's in its logo: now, next, and never. So on the never side, it always promoting the idea of governing AI and having AI ethics embedded everywhere. That's applicable to AI development tools in LLM. It's applicable to AI tools in smart cities like cameras and CCTVs. It's applicable to productivity applications of AI. And also it's applicable to the governance part that has to be part of all the AI lifecycle. ICAIRE was established as a joint effort between the Saudi government and the UNESCO. It's an international center, though it's being hosted in Saudi Arabia, and I am a Saudi citizen, proudly, but this is not for Saudi Arabia only. It's for Saudi Arabia, for GCC, for the Arab states, for Korea, for Asia, for Africa, for every part of the world. We are sharing one common vision, which is being a lighthouse for AI ethics globally. And UNESCO is definitely part of this great vision, and this is meeting their mandate. That's why the Saudi government and the UNESCO has jointly signed an agreement to establish ICAIRE, which stands for the International Center for AI Research and Ethics. It's a Category 2 center of UNESCO, hosted in Saudi Arabia. And today, it's the first center worldwide dedicated on AI research and ethics globally within UNESCO and beyond it. And as you can see from the picture, this has been taken for the team who was responsible for initiating the idea within the UNESCO. And probably our friends from Korea who have been in Saudi Arabia recognize this gentleman who is Dr. Abdullah Sharaf. His Excellency is the president of SDAIA, which is equivalent to the Minister of AI and Data in Saudi Arabia. Now, AI is very important to focus on the humanity part. And this is where we definitely want all of our work to be focused on. As I mentioned, ICAIRE stands for International Center for AI Ethics, Research and Ethics. Our vision is to be an international lighthouse for AI, empowering all nations to advance ethical AI for the good of humanity is what we are working on. And we have 4 pillars on that particular part. So we are working with research institutes from all over the world. And if someone from the attendees is working on one of these R&D centers, I'll be more than happy to collaborate with you on R&D activities focusing on, in general, UN SDGs and all the key ethical AI questions that need to be answered and addressed today. And I believe there are many big questions on smart cities we don't have answers for, whether it's in Seoul or Riyadh or Neom or any part of the world. The second pillar is AI ethics awareness outreach. What we are doing today is part of that pillar. We want to outreach to the rest of the world and make sure that we work together, not leaving someone behind. And it's proven that working together is always helpful for both parties, especially if we have common goals and we are working in a dynamic way. Our third pillar is to promote and support AI capability and capacity on AI ethics. And this is very important to maintain the right people to work on the future projects, on the right life cycle. And then comes the AI policy recommendation and development. It's always important at some point to have guidelines, to have policies, to have laws that help us to use AI in the proper way. And this could be generally applicable to AI, could be specifically applied to certain areas, including smart cities, where you need to have policies for the usage and for the protection of people, humans, individuals, and even companies when dealing with data, personal data, commercial data, patenting, and more and more. So here I'm listing some of the work that we are doing on the AI research. We have applied for a research call, and this is on certain topics. And we have engaged with more than 60 researchers as of today. We are open to engage with 10 or 20 more, specifically from South Korea. That will be always a pleasure for us to work jointly with those researchers and to answer and address big questions, hard questions, and challenges that will probably, in this case, help us to build safe and protected cities and always bring the quality of life to the equation. Also, we have launched an online expert platform to have a dialogue continuous with everyone, where we share the technology radar on AI, where AI is heading to. Also, we share the news about AI, specifically AI ethics, and we publish our research and activities. On the awareness sessions, we have done few workshops on sustainability, where AI can be playing a major role on sustainability and help out to address big challenges by streamlining the work and the processes using AI. Also, we are going to continue working on AI ethics workshops. We have our own tools that we can share with the rest of the entities, how to use them and when to use them. On capability building, we have launched a program, an international program to empower women on AI. So far, we have trained over 6,000 women in public servants and across 90 countries, including South Korea. Women from South Korea have joined this program, and they have been already certified in Microsoft AI 900 in one of the cohorts. This was really fundamental to bring the empowerment to women in the field of AI because, yes, everyone needs to be empowered, but we always need to have a balanced quota between genders, between nationalities, between areas, and between ages as well. We don't want to leave anyone behind. We have pledged also to train 25,000 women by 2030 on AI fundamentals. Today, we are working on the next cohort where we are partnering with IBM company to kick off a new program within the Elevate initiative. Also, we have launched an AI glossary challenge. The challenge is to enhance the usage of the AI glossary that we have published. And by the way, our data and AI glossary is publicly available online in our website. Today, we are supporting 3 languages, Arabic, English, French. We are going to cover the 6 languages by UNESCO, which are Espanol, Russian, and Chinese, in addition to the other 3 languages we already started. And we would love to have a partnership with a Korean institute or university to start working on the translation for the AI glossary into Korean language. And of course, we need your support into this to achieve our goal immediately and bring the Korean language to our glossary. By the way, this glossary is available online free of charge to everyone. Now, the Journey of Women Elevate program has started 3 years ago. In the first cohort, we started with 25 countries. The target was 1,000 female students. 6,000 females have registered, but 1,000 have graduated. And we had 38% of females were from global audience, while 62% were from Saudi. As you can see in the second cohort, we have increased the number of countries, increased the number of female students, 5,000 have graduated. And also we have increased the percentage of international female students. It's almost half international and half Saudis. Hopefully for the next cohort, with your help, course covering for Korean females to outreach to them, we are going to cover more than 70% by international female students. This is the timeline of our journey on Elevate program in the last couple of years. Now, on the AI policy recommendation, we have been working with UNESCO to implement a readiness assessment methodology by UNESCO on AI for countries and member states. What we have done, we worked with Saudi Arabia government to support them in implementing the RAM. Also, we have worked with the UNESCO to enable the RAM implementation, to translate it as well into Arabic language and hopefully into other languages as well. And today the RAM has almost 70 member state countries have participated, and those countries are reporting the current status of AI into their country. So this is in terms of where each country stands into the recommendations. So if we want to focus on smart cities and where smart cities still fall short, whether in Saudi Arabia, whether in Korea, Europe, United States, South America, we believe there is a gap between the governance body, the governance development, and the technology deployment, which is very fast, moving very quickly. And this is the part that brings investments. And this is the part where governments would like to adopt very quickly. They want to speed up the process, while the maturity of the governance is not there yet. Yeah, there are some schools that would like to have governance come first, but that might delay the innovation. There are some schools that want to avoid the governance, but that definitely will damage the environments and the culture behind these smart cities. So we believe that there has to be something in between. A pre-deployment AI readiness assessment is a recommendation. It's a solution. However, this has to be growing very fast as the technology is growing. So we don't need the assessment to be lagging behind the technology enhancements. There has to be all together, moving together, working together, and serving each other and learning from each other. There has to be a continuous feedback and looping between the two. The second gap comes to the citizen participation. That is often symbolic, and it varies from a nation to a nation, from a city to a city, and from a country to a country. However, overall, we believe citizens are the best to participate on the governance of smart cities in a structured way that ensure the civic engagement mechanisms are already set up and their voices outreach to the decision makers, especially from the government and even from companies. And that discussion must take place frequently, pre, post, and within the programs without stopping the innovation. And that's very important balance. So in both gaps, we believe that AI governance has to take place. However, the balance should be there and should not be neglected. We think that there are two different words between smart cities focus, a center such as ICAIRE focus, where in smart cities we have engineers, urban engineers, we have smart city experts, we have technology experts, we have different priorities where we are interfacing with citizens in everything we do. We have huge investments when it comes to CapEx projects and also OpEx projects. On ICAIRE, as I mentioned in the beginning, we focus on AI ethics. We are a UNESCO global network representing the AI ethics definitely part. And we have our own research priorities and methodology. However, we believe in this overlap section on AI governance for smart cities, there is a lot of activities that we can do together through awareness, for workshops, through joint research, and through initiatives that we can publish together to make sure that we are building smart cities that are governed and also meeting the expectations of the people living, working, studying in these smart cities without forgetting the privacy issues or what technologies might bring from issues related to these activities. And if I would focus on areas that I believe are very concrete tracks where we can build together and working on together. We can definitely work on dedicated research call on smart cities and AI ethics, inviting a collaboration. And I'm not sure if we have anyone from the Seoul Institute or Jeon Park Development Institute. We know they have interests. But definitely there might be other institutes and universities at Korea who are interested in this kind of research. So we are open to a joint research on that particular part. Also, we might, as we are building now the Elevate program, have a specific track on smart cities, and we can jointly work together to make the program targeting women and smart cities to be trained on urban planning, on all the public and government activities relevant to smart cities, and how to embed AI ethics on that. Working jointly with your experts definitely is an opportunity for us. We might also have an exchange for PhD and postdoctoral researchers from your area who are interested to come and be part with our research centers in ICAIRE. We are hosted in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and the digital city. I believe most of you who have been in Riyadh have been in the digital city because this is where most of the smart cities are located. We have SDAIA, we have an office for NEOM, we have Al Giddiya, we have some few other offices for PIF, and of course we have ICAIRE as well established there. So we can have host PhD and postdoctoral researchers into our centers. And finally, we can definitely work on the AI Olympiad to have a dedicated challenge track for smart cities on the AI Olympiad. So all of these are initiatives that I'm sharing with you openly, and whenever you believe that something might be relevant, please make sure to contact me directly through Dr. John Young or anyone to kick off this collaboration together. And finally, I want to make sure that I leave you with an invitation to host you in Saudi Arabia. Every 2 years, we have a big event here in Saudi Arabia relevant to AI, and that's the Global AI Summit. However, this year we have something different on September 14 and 17, and that will be the 4th UNESCO Global Forum on the Ethics of AI 26. This a global event is hosted in Riyadh in the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, and it will be hosted by the UNESCO in collaboration with ICAIRE and SDAIA. And it will discuss very interesting topics on the ethics of AI, the future of ethics of AI in general, universally by global attendees. We have sent invitations to all member state countries through UNESCO, and we are going to follow up with invitations by SDAIA leadership. And we would like to have a representation from your institutes into this event. The website is already published. It's gfeai.icare.org, and I'll share it in the chat later, and I'll share it with Dr. Jung so he can share it with you. And we would love to see you attending, participating, and being part of this global event. And maybe during your visit, you can have a look at what's happening in Saudi Arabia on smart cities. And maybe with that, I would like to thank you, and I will close the note with something very interesting that I recently was part of 3 months ago in Mecca as part of the best practices for smart cities during the Hajj period. As you know, Saudi Arabia is hosting people from all over the world every year to do Hajj, and including from maybe 195 countries, including South Korea. Muslims from South Korea, they come to Saudi Arabia. And normally the main focus of the government entities in Saudi Arabia, and this is really important case study, is the safety of people doing Hajj. You know, the levels of education for people is different. There are people who speak the language. There are some people who doesn't speak the language of the instructions in Saudi Arabia. There are people who are very educated, well organized, and then there are people who are very old and they are not used to the smart cities activities. One of the indicators for smart cities is many of the activities in Saudi Arabia you can do through your mobile phone. So there are some applications, whether for people in Saudi Arabia or even for people visiting Saudi Arabia for Hajj period, but they can do some services online through Tawakkalna application. So that means you need to have a smartphone, you need to download the application, you need to have internet connectivity, but I don't have numbers, but definitely there is a big portion of people out there do not speak the language and do not have the capability to use the technology. That's one thing. Then there are other challenges when it comes to smart cities tools for the people doing Hajj, and that's one part. Then there is the other part, which is for the government officials, where they are using technologies, AI, to manage the crowd. You have 2 million people from 195 nationalities, and those people are coming from different level of countries. Some of them are coming from poor countries. They are not used to what other countries are doing when it comes to organizing the crowd, using technologies, reading signs, and being in order in certain places. They are not. But they are here to do a very important practice in their religion, and we have to respect that. And we have to educate them, and we have to support them, and also we have to protect them as a government, protect their lives, and make sure they are healthy, they eat the right food, and everything is working perfectly. So the government is using AI to manage the crowd, to receive them on airports, to provide certain services for those guests, and so on. So this is a good example from Saudi Arabia in Mecca that maybe with further research and further discussions, we can highlight more. Then there is the global side of AI and future smart cities, which is the NEOM, representing by the NEOM city. And they definitely are working hard today with the transformation they are having, with the new leadership in charge today, with the changes happening on the region, on smart cities priorities. So all of that would be interested if you come to Saudi Arabia, to Riyadh, that you can be definitely introduced to. With that, I would like to thank you for your time, and going back to our moderator, Dr. Jung Chua.